listen, dude. You've done a lot of. I wanted you to get into the stuff that you did for the community, because I know you do a lot of stuff for the Bronx.
Yeah.
I know you was doing a lot of stuff. I remember when you and D. Cole did a video back
for
in
the
the
kids.
day.
That was fire.
Yeah,
Woo!
man. Robbie Rob had a joint out that, you know what I'm saying, all the kids from the area, they all came out. They did it with the Parks Department, and they put a little dance together, and the kids was doing the dance.
Yeah.
I remember that, man.
That's what's up,
you was
man.
always doing. So tell me about, when it comes to connecting with your community, man, because you're already doing stuff with Graham, and everything else, man. You're always giving back.
Yeah, it's a must, man. Like, I'm a spiritual person, man, so I believe in giving, you know what I'm saying? So I take on, and everything I do, I always incorporate God. Like, I just renovated my studio, named the God First Studio. And people, I get clients that come in and record, and, I'm going to make sure they put that name in their mouth. They acknowledge who God is,
right.
Spiritual or not. That's just my belief. But I take the little young ones, that are troubled out here because they misled, because they look at hip-hop and they follow that shit. You know what I'm saying?
No, yeah, they look at it not as entertainment. They look at it as a way of life.
And it's a lifestyle. And as hip-hop, some of us send the wrong message. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
me being a part of the culture and the things I can show them, because some of them know, some of them don't know. But once they start doing their homework, they get to learn who I am, and then they get to look up to what I'm talking about. You feel me? And I can actually show them, like, listen, man, this ain't cool. You feel me? It's better to be this way, because this type of lifestyle can get you this and that. And a lot of times I convince some of them to go to church.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Because
they don't know.
Yeah. Sometimes they need guidance, man. And I'm not big on organized religion. We won't get into that. But you know what? Some of these kids that don't have, people to actually guide them in the right direction, man. It's just being around positive people and positive energy. You know what I'm saying? It starts to seep into them. You know what I mean? And then they want to get out of the situations that they're in. It's not like they just want to sit there and just do nothing. Because I know a lot of kids, they don't want to do anything, man. They've been disenfranchised. They've been beaten down by, whatever's going on in their home life or whatever like that. And they feel lost. And they're just like, they don't have an example of anybody doing something positive or doing something productive. So they just automatically just revert back to whatever they was doing before, which was nothing, pretty much.
Yeah, but it's different now, and I share this with a lot of parents because they see what I do with the kid I mentor, so they'll reach out, and I share this with them because they don't understand the behavior. They don't understand that it's common for teenagers to smoke marijuana now. It's just common. It wasn't pretty much common in our time, but now it's all in there. It's like smoking a cigarette almost, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of parents get upset, and they don't deal with the situation right. And I always tell them, listen, man, try to offer help. Before you spaz out and try to kill them and kick them out, see if they want to get help. Just tell them, you don't want the same household, and you discourage it, and that you're aware of what they're doing. You feel me?
Right.
Because the influences is like this. This is real, DUIs. Pay attention, right? A kid is around negative influences more than they're around their parents. How many days of a week we got? 7, am I correct?
Oh, yeah.
How many hours a kid goes to school? 8 to 3, something like that, 8 to 4, right? The most important hours of their life, 8 in the morning to 3, 4.
Yeah.
They get home by 4, 5 o'clock. They haven't saw you all day.
No.
They're drained. They're hungry. Homework, chores, bedtime. So that's about 3 to 4 hours you may get to see them before 10 o'clock comes in. They roll over and have to sleep those other hours that's important for the body. You know what I'm saying?
No, you're right.
But then the most important hours, they're around negative influences, which is in the school, which is drugs. Some schools you have to participate in a game to surviving. That they don't come home.
Man, it's getting crazy.
They don't come home and tell their parents that. But most of their important hours are around negative energy. So it's like the negative energy is automatically raising them, no matter what you tell them or how good of a parent you are. But it's always good to pray and enforce the positive and try to keep them into positive stuff. Because there's no such thing as, I don't believe, as good schools anymore.
The public school system is gone.
It's gone.
Down.
It's like that with the Catholic schools and other charter schools.
It's getting
they're like jails almost.
Yeah,
in a way. The way
it's crazy, but we got to realize those important hours, 8 to 3. What if your kid was with you?
And that's sculpting your child.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
On the weekends, you probably have things for them to do if they're not ripping and running, because that's like their days off of work. But the most important hours from 8 to 3 around negative influences.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I had to stay busy. My parents put me in. I went to Saturday classes. I went to early college development. I was in a marching band.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, out in Yonkers. I used to work for the Parks Department every year. Every summer, I always had a job. You know what I mean? My parents kept me. It wasn't the fact they was beating me over the head saying, "Oh, you shouldn't be hanging out with this person. You shouldn't be doing that." Blah 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 blah. They didn't have to tell me that. They kept me so damn busy. There was no time for the negative.
Exactly.
There was no time for the negative.
You were raised into it, which is real. You know what I mean? Nowadays, it's just not like that. These kids in school with hundreds and hundreds of negative influences. You feel me? It's hard to make a decision to be positive because any kid is gonna want to fit in. It's like a child that sees another child eating McDonald's. They're gonna want something. So you know what I'm saying? It's just there. Yeah. It's just there, and I always tell people, don't give up.
Yeah. And don't
give up.
And don't automatically just put them down.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Like you got to stay on their level. I wish we had more hip hop communities in these areas in New York City
that would support that.
That these kids can go to. You feel me? And then get a different message. You feel me? And bring some of the hip hop out, the artists out to actually interact at these programs and let these kids know. Listen, man.
I mean, they do it, but you know what? It's few and far between. And then when they do it, they don't get any kind of coverage. You know what I mean? It'll be a blurb on News 12. It'll be a blurb on ABC News. I remember when Mary J. Blige opened up her center for battered women. Like I saw it for like one day, and it was like poof. Was gone. I was like, okay, so she came from Yonkers. She came from the Slow Baumhausen Project. She didn't, you know what I'm saying? She'd have moved up in the world. She's trying to put something together for positive influence, and you give her, a paragraph in the whole paper. You know what I mean? Like that's.
But I also feel like sometimes like we don't need to get that validation from watching the media and seeing that. Like I think even the effect of someone like Mary or someone like. Robbie Rob for just being there. That community is seeing it.
No. You're right. No, I get it. Now it's more open because now we have our own means to communicate between us. I'm talking about just the urban community. With Facebook and all the connecting social media platforms that we have, now we can record and say, oh, Robbie Rob came with a check for $10,000 for
we can archive it.
Yeah, we can archive it. It's something that's going to be out there forever. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like before, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, it wasn't like that. You had to rely on the media to do it. So now we have another platform, multiple platforms in order to do it. So let's get back to, after you linked up with 50, were you doing a lot of G Unit stuff? Or you doing a lot of,
Well, sorry about that.
No, that's cool.
I was always, when I was 50, I would do the whole G Unit team, like, you know what I mean? If Banks needed a DJ or Yayo or, you feel me, whoever was with us, you know what I mean? I worked everybody's project when I was over.
All right. That's
you know what I'm saying? So, I always been there. I wanted to share something else, though. Check it. You seen the guy that was online that stopped that fight the other day and it went viral?
Yeah.
I've been doing that. Like,
that's powerful.
It's crazy. I just sent you a link. I don't know if you can pull it out.
Yeah, I got you.
I've been doing that, and I didn't ask for it to go viral, but I did make sure somebody filmed it to encourage other people to do the same thing. Because see, when fights and stuff like that jump off, people would just sit there and watch. Well, they scream World Star.
Yeah.
Somebody could really get hurt. You know what I'm saying?
No, you're right about
that. It get crazy.
You're right about that.
Yeah, and then you're protecting them because then, the cops come and then, that just adds to their trouble that could, mess them up down the road.
That's a fact, man.
Just self-inflicted wounds, basically. They turn into.
Man.
So that's powerful. Let me ask you, what kind of music do you listen to? Because obviously a lot of hip hop today, it tends to lean towards negativity sometimes. What do you listen to that's not hip hop? That's like, I'm gonna get off into another space, kind of clear my mind from everything I may be working on. What kind of music do you listen to?
I like old school.
Okay.
I like old school reggae. I like the vibe to that type of stuff. I'm forced to actually deal with the new rap because I'm a DJ and I gotta satisfy what I mean, what I have. Yeah, at the end of the day, so it's not about me, it's about what the people want. You know what I'm saying? So I get caught in this stuff. I have to listen to the lyrics and I have to, you know, try to relate to what's going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My kids help me out a lot too. You feel me? Because we're not from that era. And I tell people every 7 years, hip hop does something different.
Of course.
Like, when we were younger, our parents didn't approve of flat tops and baggy jeans.
Oh man,
It's the same visual, just in
It's
a
just a new way.
different
Yeah,
way.
it's a
You
new
feel
era.
me? We looking at these kids like, wow, we don't understand it, but our parents didn't understand us as well. You feel me? They didn't understand the crack rap, and you feel me?
no, you're right. But